This is an automatic tree farm that gets you over 10,200 logs per hour. It's you can interchange out oak, birch, and jungle saplings to get the respective kind of logs that you want. And when I made this design, I wanted to make it easy to make. I wanted to make it inexpensive material wise to build. I wanted to make sure that we ended up getting a positive amount of saplings out of this than we're putting into it, so it can be self-sustainable on the sapling side. And you know, most importantly, I wanted the rates to be absolutely amazing, which I do think that I have accomplished with this design, because we are getting over 10,200 oak logs per hour. Now this thing is fully automatic in the sense of it bone meals the saplings to grow the tree. It automatically pushes the tree out of the way. It automatically breaks all the leaves. It automatically collects all the leaves and puts the saplings or all the leaf drops back at the player down at the bottom here. And it automatically blows up the logs and automatically puts them into chests. The only thing that you have to do is actually plant the saplings, which you can just hold down right click down here below, be AFK, and the rest of this thing is fully automatic. I also have a design in mind that is similar to this one, that we can actually interchange out oak, birch, jungle, and also spruce saplings and logs, so that we can get all four of those interchangeably. And if this video gets 170 likes, I will go ahead and make that video for you guys. I just need to make sure that people are actually interested in that video before I go ahead and make it. So let's quickly go over what exactly is going on here with this design. So of course the player is going to be down here, is going to have to be AFK putting down the saplings. This machine, everything that's going on is automatically bone mealing the saplings. The sapling is growing. The machine senses when the tree grows. When the tree grows, it pushes the logs this way out of the way, and it also breaks all of the leaves. All of the leaf drops goes down below here, and they end up in these hoppers, and these hoppers get shot back into the player, which is AFKing down here, so that you can be completely away from the computer and your inventory will fill up with saplings. When the logs get pushed out this way, there's a TNT duplicator that is timed perfectly with this little mechanism down here, and everything going on up here with the timing and everything, to actually blow up the logs to get the fantastic rates that we are getting. We also have a bone meal input on this side, and this design does use up a lot of bone meal, so I do recommend making a bone meal farm. I do have a couple designs on my channel, so definitely go check out the bone meal farms that you can make. You can literally just hook up a bone meal farm to this thing and be making enough bone meal to where you don't have to worry about the bone meal at all, and this thing would be completely 100% self-sustaining. But the way that we're going to build this today, you do need to have a bone meal input. I'm not going to show you guys how to make the bone meal farm. You can do that on your own time. This design works in 1.15 because in 1.15 they introduced these honey blocks, so we can make everything a lot more compact. But I am currently in 1.16.1, as you can see right here on the F3 screen. And it is future proof. I do not think that any of the mechanics that I'm using in this design will ever get patched. Okay, cool. So let's get into how to actually make this thing. I put a lot of time and effort into my videos, and I would really appreciate it if you left a subscribe. It's free, it takes about 2 seconds, and you can always unsubscribe later if you really want. Do you want to play on a Minecraft server with me and receive some other really cool benefits? Definitely consider becoming a Patreon today. You can learn more on the Patreon site, which is linked down below. To start the build off, you're gonna need to find an area that's about 20 wide and 30 blocks long. And to start this thing off, the first thing we're gonna do is build up 2 blocks and put the dirt that we're actually gonna be growing the saplings on. You can go ahead and break the blocks under that as soon as you get that in that spot, and then build out 2 on every side. These are going to represent where the hoppers are going to be once we get this spot right here, because this is going to be where we're going to stand. Once you get that in place, we can go ahead and say, okay, well then the dispenser is going to be right here. This is going to be the dispenser that's dropping all of the saplings and all the leaf drops into the player, and as they're standing here and AFKing and holding down right click on the dirt. So now we can just start to build all of these hoppers going into this dispenser right here. So we can go ahead and take all of these out of the way, go ahead and put all these hoppers facing into this direction. The only problem is that when you get here, this is going to be a dispenser facing upwards, and then this is going to be a dispenser facing into the dirt. I made a bit of an oopsie right here. So that bottom dispenser, or what I said was a dispenser, has to be a dropper. So make the one that is next to the dirt, that is pointing up, that is a dropper. The one on top is a dispenser. The one on bottom is a dropper. Make sure you get that correct. So this is going to be how the bone meal gets into place right here. And then we're just going to put hoppers going that way. So we actually don't want these hoppers to get any of the tree drops in them. So what we're going to do to avoid them getting tree drops in them is that we're going to put logs on top of them. So if you shift click on top, we can go ahead and put logs on top of those guys right there, on top of that one as well. And now all of these hoppers are getting blocked from getting the actual tree drops into where the bone meal should be going, and all the tree drops are all ending up in the correct place. We can get rid of those and just continue this circle all the way around. Once you get around to this back side, we're gonna go ahead and shift click. We're gonna put a block right there just because we're gonna need one there later, and then these have to come out this far, so it would be 4 away from the dirt block, just like this, because we do need a redstone signal going up right here. So we're gonna need these hoppers to not be in the way of that redstone signal. But once we get that all figured out, then we can just put the hoppers in place in the rest of those spots, just like that. So this is what the layout of the hoppers should look like when you're done. Make sure that they're all pointed the correct way. We just need all of the hoppers to go into this dispenser right here, so that all of the drops from the leaves will actually end up in this hopper. Now it is time for us to make the part of the machine that's going to sense every time one of these saplings is actually going to grow. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to put a sticky piston facing out this way and a redstone block in front of that. And there is a redstone block underneath this hopper, which means that that hopper is going to be locked, but this hopper will unlock every single time something grows, so that is not an issue at all. And then we're going to take out a signal from right here. So that is going to be our signal every time one grows. And we're going to make it so that every time a tree grows, it's going to power this piston and push this redstone block out. So the way that we're going to want to do that is we're going to have to get a furnace, or we can even use another dropper. It just has to be a block that is immovable. So let's go ahead and use a furnace just like that. We're also going to need a redstone torch on the side of it like so. And then we're gonna need 2 repeaters, and then we're gonna shift click one there, another one there. So that is the mechanism all done. When we're all done, we're gonna be standing here. We're gonna be holding down right click right on that little dirt, and then that is gonna be the AFK position. But now every time something grows here, it's gonna put power through this block. This is actually being powered right now. There hasn't been a block update next to it yet, so it doesn't know that it's being powered yet. So if I just go like that, you can see that it updates the piston. Now if we break it, it's not powered anymore. It just needs a block update. So if we put a block next to it, it updates the piston and lets it know that it is no longer being powered. So we're gonna have a solution for updating this thing consistently a little bit later in the tutorial. Now let's build the leaf crushers, and what we're gonna do is put a row of slime that is 5 wide, just like that. And then we're gonna rotate between slime and honey in between this wall. So go ahead and keep building this up until it is 7 high. And that is the height that we're actually gonna be making this wall. And we need to make this on the other side as well. And this other side starts 2 blocks away, just like it is on this side. So count 1, 2 from the dirt block right there. And then this is where the first arm of the slime is gonna be. And then we just build this all the way up. The next step for the leaf crushers is to put gates and open them up on every single one of these slime and honey blocks that we just put down. The only caveat is that we want to put redstone blocks on the first 5 blocks up on this side, just like that. Okay, once we've done all that, it should look like this, with all of these being fence gates, and then these 5 being redstone blocks. Now would be a good time for us to put the height controlling mechanism on the design, and all we need to do is put a block right above the dirt block, one block above the leaf crushers, just like so. Next, we need to put in the machine that's actually going to be pushing all of these forward. So put sticky pistons all the way down this side of the leaf crusher wall, just like that. And we have to do that on this other side as well. Once we have that in place, then we need to make the glass staircase that goes all the way up. So just put in 2 pieces of glass, or just build this kind of staircase all the way up just like that. And then we need to do that on this side as well. And now we need to lead this redstone signal into each side. Once you have the staircase going up on each side, all you need to do is connect this redstone line all the way up so it hits every single one of the pistons, just like so. Now that we've made that redstone line go all the way up, we need to put a repeater going into that block right there, and a repeater going into that block right there. Now to actually test this thing, what we're going to do is put a switch right where that redstone block will come in, and switch it to make sure everything triggers and functions correctly. This looks perfect, and then we can go ahead and unswitch it, make sure it all retracted, and that worked flawlessly. So now we can go ahead and get rid of this lever. And when we're done with this part, it all should look like this, where the redstone line is going into that repeater, the redstone line goes up to the top, and then it looks identical on this side with the repeater, and then the redstone line going all the way to the top. The next step is to make the observer clock that is going to be powering this dispenser right here, powering this dispenser right here, and also updating this piston right here. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to go ahead and use this kind of clock right here. All we need to do is put some redstone dust just like that, put a sticky piston underneath the ground like so, and then we can just power it and then unpower it to turn the clock off. So the next time that we power this, it's going to be 0 ticked, or it's just going to make the pulse a little bit faster, and this is the speed that we need it, but we can just turn it off for now. And now we just need to make the redstone line go from the on and off switch that we're going to build over here over to there. So let's go ahead and put in the flooring just like this. I mean, you don't have to do it exactly like this, but you do need an area where you can just stand up here at this level, and then you need to drop down this level 1. Once you've dropped down this level 1 block, go ahead and put a switch on the block just like this, and this is going to be the on and off switch for the farm. Next, we need to dig out a 1 block tunnel that goes all the way underneath exactly where the lever is, and then just go ahead and put redstone dust all the way through this line. I'm actually going to take this out. I do like putting blocks that aren't like dirt or grass down wherever I'm going to put redstone, just so I know that there's redstone on that block and not to disturb it. So I'm going to go ahead and put in these blocks of iron just to show that there's going to be redstone current on these blocks. And I'm using iron blocks as the building block on all of this design. You can use whatever solid block that you want. It doesn't have to be iron blocks. I'm just using iron blocks. This glass does actually need to be glass. That is the only material that you can make these redstone staircases out of. So now that I put down the iron blocks to show that this is a redstone current, let's go ahead and put all the redstone current in place. Once we have all that in place, you do need a block right here, and then put a redstone torch on. So the farm is actually naturally gonna be on all of the time without any redstone current going into it, that is. So the on position of this lever right here is actually gonna turn the farm off, and then when you turn this lever off, it's gonna turn the farm on. The next step is to put a redstone current going from this blinking current, just like this, into this block right here, which is actually going to power this dispenser. So if we put items in this dispenser, you see that they now shoot out, which is exactly what we want. And this current is also giving this piston a block update. So now whenever a block ends up here or a tree grows here, you'll see that all of the walls trigger how they're supposed to. And then as soon as this block moves from there, they all retract and get pulled back exactly how they're supposed to. Oh, hey there. Yeah, it's me, the guy making this video. This is a quick vibe check. Are you vibing? Let me know how hard you're vibing down in the comments below. And if you're vibing hard, make sure you leave a like and subscribe so that you can join the Dusty tribe. Cool, now that we're done vibing, let's get back into the video. The next thing we need to do is put the bone meal input. So I'm just gonna build that out one more, just like so. You're gonna need some chests and you're gonna need some hoppers to make this work. And then just shift click up some chests just like so. This one you can make a double. And then what you need to do is go up the sides just like this. Put a hopper on this side and then just make all of these double chests just like so. Boom. And now this is where you put all of your bone meal. So you're gonna have to get some sort of bone meal farm to get all this bone meal, or some kind of bone farm. I've seen people do skeleton farms to get this bone meal. I would recommend using a pumpkin melon farm, and I have a design for that on my channel as well, so I will link that up in the corner right now so that you guys can go ahead and make that farm and get a ton of bone meal. You could even hook that farm straight up to this farm to make it so that this farm is self-sufficient. That would be really cool if you did that, but you know, whatever tickles your fancy, you can do whatever you want. The next step is to actually put the mechanism that is going to push the logs out of the way. And to do that, what you need to do is build up a tower 6 high of these sticky pistons, and then build another tower right on top of this that is just logs. And the reason why we make this logs instead of just putting pistons right there is that when this tree is trying to grow, it's going to check its surroundings and say how many blocks are in my area. And it's going to look for anything that's not logs or leaves, stuff like that. And if it has a lot of blocks in the area, which it does, it has this dispenser, I think that might be the only thing that actually counts, then it has less percent chances of growing when you bone meal it. So by making this logs right here, we are saving a lot of bone meal. So that is why we're doing this with logs. But literally, to make the pusher, it's literally that simple, because when this thing gets triggered, I'll just show you right here, it's gonna go ahead and push all this redstone forward so that it triggers all of these sticky pistons all the way down to the bottom. So anything that grows there is gonna get pushed out of the way. And then when the tree actually gets pushed out of the way, this will retract and it's gonna pull back all these logs just like that. So now when we turn this thing on and we start to put saplings down, they're gonna grow. All the leaves are gonna get crushed. The logs are gonna get pushed out of the way. As you can see, it shot some saplings out at us. So we could just sit here, hold down right click right there, and they will continue to come out this way. So the only thing that we really have left to do is to make the collection system underneath and to make the TNT duplicator. And a lot of the drops do accidentally come out the side here. So what I recommend you do is, with leaves, make a wall on the sides so that none of the drops will pop out the sides here, and we'll be able to collect up a lot more of the leaf drops. So that's what the leaf walls should look like when they're done. And I don't really like it looking closed off like this, but you do collect a lot more of the leaf drops if you do include this wall of leaves right here. So to make the collection mechanism, what we're gonna do is come 2 out from that redstone wire right there, and then count 8 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're gonna put in the 8 down just like that. These ones right here are gonna be hoppers, and we're gonna make this about 5 wide, so 2 on each side, just to ensure that we actually collect all of the drops. And once we have it looking like this, this is 8 long, 5 wide, then we can go ahead and put the chests that are going to be collecting all of the logs. And you can make this collection system however you want. I guess for the purposes of this video, I'll just put this one collection right here, and then have it coming out just like this. But you can make this go down lower, and you can make the the collection a lot larger than this. This double chest is actually going to fill up really fast if you just do this, but yeah, this is essentially how you set this up. And then what we do is we put water at the top up here just like that, so that we have water streams going down to the hoppers, and then all the hoppers aim into this collection system. So this chest right here is going to end up with all of the logs from this farm. So now we're going to work on the TNT duplicator, and it's going to be dropping on this spot right here. It won't actually be reaching this spot. This is just a protector to make it so that all the blocks that we're using right here don't get blown up. I would recommend using blast resistant blocks for this part right here, because they can occasionally blow up if they're weaker. The stone over there I ran for hours and hours, and that never had an issue as long as you put this obsidian block right here. So this obsidian block is 1 in from this side, 1 in from that side, and then 2 off the ground. And now we're going to count up 12 blocks, and that's where we're going to start work on the TNT duplicator. So now we're 12 blocks off of the obsidian. This is going to be the area where the TNT gets duplicated and then pushed down on this block right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little ring around that spot right there. So that just makes it so it drops straight down there. Make a little railing for the water that we're going to put. We're going to put water right here. And then this is a fence gate that we're going to go ahead and open up. So now we can go ahead and take all this away. We don't need that anymore. And now we just make the slime machine TNT duplicator right here. So now we have all this set up to make the TNT duplicating machine. What we're going to do is make an L with our slime blocks just like that. We're going to put a wall right there. It doesn't have to be a stone brick wall like that, but just any type of wall will do. Put the TNT on that one. Put some coral fan right there. It has to be dead coral fan, so you have to wait until it dies. So you can just put normal coral fan, just wait till it dies before you actually prime it. So that'll be fine. Go ahead and use 3 more slime blocks and another L shape just like that. Put a detector rail down just like that. Make sure that it's like facing into the wall. That just makes it so that the minecart right there won't actually go anywhere. And then what you need to do is build out 2 blocks just like that, and then put a sticky piston facing into it. Now to prime this thing, we just put a switch on this block right here. This is the block that we're gonna end up powering to actually control this thing. Switch it once, that primes it, everything happens, and then you pull it back and it's ready to go. If you try and build it like this, it will not work. You have to build it before it is primed, and then you have to prime it like so. So now if you do this, oh no. These things are dangerous, kids. Okay, so to avoid the mistake that I just made, before you actually prime this thing, put some blocks around the outside to make sure that the TNT ends up in the correct place. So that right there is what you need to do. So now when you push this forward, that primes it right there. Pull it back. Everything is good. Everything's in the correct place. And now that TNT is forced to fall down that hole. There's nowhere else for it to go now. As soon as you go like that, only place it's gonna go is on top of that TNT. So yeah, we could do this all day long, and the TNT will always end up on top of that obsidian. So now to make the timer on this thing, we can go ahead and get rid of that. What we're gonna do is make an etho hopper clock. So what you need to do is put 4 blocks on the bottom just like that. We're gonna have 2 hoppers facing into each other, so put a block down and have the 2 hoppers facing into each other like that. Or they're gonna have comparators, 2 comparators, one sticking out of each of the hoppers. We're then gonna put redstone dust on top of those blocks like so. We're then going to put some sticky pistons just like that, and a redstone block in between them. Now we can put in 4 items. 4 items is the perfect amount for how often we want the TNT to go down. If you do more than 4 items, the TNT will drop not often enough. And if you put less than 4 items, the TNT will drop too often. And now let's go ahead and make this so that we can switch this on and off. let's just go ahead and put a torch just like that, and that is going to effectively switch this off. Now there are going to be some of these leaves that we're going to have to replace with stronger blocks, and that is fine. Let's just go ahead and replace all of these with a little bit sturdier blocks, and that will work perfectly fine and they won't blow up anymore. And we're also going to set up a timer on a fence gate down here so that we can control when the TNT falls. And that's so that it doesn't blow up on the obsidian every single time. And what that'll do is it'll make it so that each TNT will be able to blow up more logs, which is going to make the TNT more effective. So what we need to do is make a sort of staircase down, just like this. Bring it down by 5 blocks. We're gonna need a redstone torch on the side just like that, and then we're gonna put this redstone line going down like so. So once you've made sure that this goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this around. We're gonna loop it around like so. We can go ahead and bring it underneath here, and we need this to come out almost all the way underneath where the TNT is going to drop, and then right where the TNT is going to drop, we are going to put a fence gate right on top, just like that. Let's go ahead and open this up for now, just for safety precautions. In case this accidentally goes off, we want the TNT to fall all the way through and not blow any of this up. To make sure that this gate opens at precisely the right time, we're going to want to put a redstone dust there, and then we're going to put down 8 repeaters, 7 of which are going to be completely maxed out on the 4-tick delay, and the last one is going to have 2-tick delay. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this 8th one is going to just have 2-tick delays just like that. The rest of this can be redstone dust, so we don't even really need those blocks right there. This is perfect. Now, if we want to test this out, what we would do is we can just take away that torch for now, and we can see that the TNT falls on the gate and then falls with exactly the right amount of time to where it explodes right above the obsidian every single time. So that is perfect. What we can do is we can go ahead and make this be in the off position in the normal state while there's no redstone power going to it, so it's going to match up with the rest of the farm. And now all we have to do is put a redstone signal all the way from here that connects up with here, so that whenever we turn off this power, it is going to power this redstone torch and make sure that this TNT duplicator is actually working. So however you're gonna get the power from down here up to there is with a redstone torch tower, and what we need to do is we can go ahead and connect this up to here, and then this top spot is actually going to be a redstone torch, and then we place a solid block on top, redstone torch, a solid block, redstone torch, solid block, redstone torch, solid block, redstone torch. And that is perfect because that is giving us a negative output, and the farm is currently off. So that means when we turn the farm on, it's going to give us a positive output, which is actually going to turn that off and turn on the TNT duplicating machine. So now that that is hooked up, I think the farm is all done and ready to go. So what should happen when we switch this lever is that we're going to hear all the ticking. We're going to see that dispenser firing, and the TNT duplicator is now going. So to get this thing to actually work, what we're going to do is we're going to stand in right here in this corner right here, look right here, and hold down right click. Now there's a ton of auto clickers that you can get that will just hold down the right click for you. As you can see here, everything is working properly. You can hear the leaf crushers working. The logs are moving out of the way. We are pushing all the logs in the correct direction. Nothing is jamming up. And if we come out here, oh, we can see that we're getting shot at with the saplings and apples and sticks. We're getting all of the leaf drops. And if we come down here, we can now see that we do have almost a stack of logs just from us being under there for that short amount of time. So cool. I hope you found value in this one. If you did, definitely leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.